Before we get into our college picks for this week, we're just do a quick recap on how our picks went last week. Nick, how'd your picks go?
Phenomenal. 2-0, balled out, never a doubt. First one was Missouri at Vandy -2.5. Never a doubt until the last play of the game. He did catch that. He was very, very close. Next one was UCLA at number 2, Indiana over 54.5. Indiana covered that outright. They scored 56. I thought UCLA was going to score a little bit to help, but didn't need to. Sig has those boys rolling.
Heck yeah. I only went 1-1 last week. Baylor at Cincinnati. Cincinnati covered. It felt pretty easy for the most part. There was a scare at one point, but they ended up pulling away pretty nicely. And Oregon, I didn't check the weather report before that game, and that really messed things up with Wisconsin. So they did not cover, but we
That was
will
ugly.
definitely be checking out weather reports this week. And now we're going to be jumping into this week's picks if you want to start that off too, Nick.
I actually really like this one. It's two unranked teams. We're going Rutgers at Illinois. I'm taking Illinois -12.5. Rutgers has lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They just beat Purdue by 3 points on the last second field goal, and Purdue's not very good. They gave up a ton of points. Illinois scores points. They're not ranked anymore, but that's because they're coming off of 2 pretty tough games. They played Ohio State, very good, and then at Washington, which is a tough game. I knew that was going to be a hard game for them going at Washington. So I have them coming back home, getting back on track, and winning by well over 2 scores, to be honest.
Put up points. That's
Only
always
time
good
I
when you're
remember watching Illinois is just saw them get beat up on by Indiana.
Oh
So
yeah,
They
that was a
lose to
bad
good
one.
teams, but this is not a good team they're playing. And
Exactly.
I think 12 and a
Rutgers.
half is too. I think 12.5 is too low.
Yeah, because Rutgers got beat pretty bad 2 weeks ago from Oregon because we talked about that one last week.
Rutgers gets destroyed.
So they can definitely be had with big scores. And like I said, Illinois can do it. Like Illinois has shown they can score this year. So that's not bad. I like that one. What's your second pick?
Sure. Back to the well, baby. Back to the well. Texas Tech at Kansas State over 52.5. This is probably one of the
Oh,
lowest
nice.
overs that Texas Tech has had. I'm not sure. I haven't checked them in a couple weeks. I've been on Indiana over duty. Jake's been gone.
somebody had to do it.
Automatic.
Texas Tech got back on track with their scoring last week. They scored 42 against Oklahoma State, but they didn't give up any. It was 42-0. They averaged 43 points a game. They're the 4th team in the country. And Kansas State doesn't have too bad of an offense themselves. They average 31. I think it's like 50th or something in the country, but they average 31 points. So these two teams should put up some points. Texas Tech doesn't have a bad defense. Neither does K-State. But if they're averaging 40, the other team's averaging 31, I think 52 should be pretty easy.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously I like Texas Tech and their offense, but I like the Kansas State's quarterback and they've
Abe
kind of,
Johnson, yeah.
yeah, they started really slow this year and it kind of ruined their season early. But the last 4 weeks they've covered and I believe they've hit 4 straight overs. So I think that
Yeah, I
they've
mean,
really been
and
scoring.
and a lot of it is. I said they have a decent defense. It's okay. They're giving up 26 points a game on defense. So
Yeah. So half of the
those
over right
overs,
there.
those overs are going to hit.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a solid one, and you can't go wrong with the Texas Tech over.
Well, I mean, and on top of that too, Texas Tech, they need to score some points. Like they need to make sure they keep winning. Because if
Yeah.
you do screw up and you do lose one of these games late in the season, you need to at least show that you've been beating up on every team possible.
Yeah,
Especially in the Big
Because
12.
K-State's
because
been playing better,
they're going to be
so it's
first
definitely
team to make it.
yeah.
So they can't afford any of these losses towards the end here.
No, I
So
agree. I'm leaning
Yeah,
with the Texas
exactly.
Tech over.
I'm definitely going with the Texas Tech over. I just don't like
Illinois is
the
going to win by 40, but
Rutgers and
I do
Illinois
like this.
game.
That game is going to be a 40-point win. But I do like this one.
Heck yeah. So
I
we'll
would
take
have
it.
taken it if I don't.
Mhm.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Awesome. So I'll go into my picks. I'm going to be starting off with Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State -20.5. This is the unbeaten against the spread versus the beaten against the spread, essentially. Penn State just covered for the first time 2 weeks ago. They are 1-7 against the spread this year. And both teams are coming off a bye, so they're both rested. The preseason ranks of Penn State being above them, I still feel is some type of motivation for them going into this game to kind of just absolutely bury a rival that should never have been ranked above them in any polls. So I do think they're going to come out with a little bit of extra motivation. Ohio State's defense is virtually number one in every category across the board. They are giving up less than a touchdown a game on average. I think it's like 6.8 1.8 points per game, and you cannot run on them. Average right now is 84 yards per game is what they're giving up on the ground. So Penn State's formula with the redshirt freshman quarterback and their running backs
Is run the ball.
Is run the ball, and it's not going to happen. And he only threw for 90 yards against Iowa. I don't see that getting any better against Ohio State, and it's only 3 scores. I could see this game, even with Penn State having a strong defense, this could be a 28-0 game or a 34-7
blitz. They're gonna blitz every play.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad.
And I feel it's only 20.5 because it's Penn State and because there is enough talent on the roster.
Yeah.
But they're not playing like a team that should be in the same vicinity as Ohio State. This game could get out of hand. And it could be a shutout. Ohio State is on a level where they're trying to shut everyone out because they are on a historic run right now. It's going to be a rude awakening for Penn State this week. So
I mean, without the coach too, Franklin getting booted. What was that? 2 weeks ago?
Aller. Yeah, and they don't even know Aller.
Aller, I don't know if that would have helped anyway.
No,
he got him fired. He single-handedly got Franklin fired because it was like this was supposed to be his best team.
Franklin
in the last 10, 12 years, and he was that bad. So I just don't think this Penn State team has anything left. I think they're just getting ready for the next head coach to come on in next year and restart the whole thing. They're at the bottom of the barrel now.
For sure. And I think the last time Penn State did beat Ohio State, I think they were unranked. I think Penn State was probably the last matchup they had that they were unranked. I'm not entirely sure about
that was the block.
But I think it was the last time. Correct.
Yeah.
And Ohio State's like, all right, we know that they're terrible. It was. But Ohio State's definitely showing that and being like, look, they're not good, but they're going to try. Their whole season is just trying to beat Ohio State right now. Like, that's all Penn State's trying to do. Hey, we can beat Ohio State, ruin their season. That's all Penn State wants to do.
And they can try. They're not going to take them lightly, that's for sure.
No, that's not.
Ohio State definitely will not be. Yeah. Ohio State is going to make sure that they do everything in their power to make sure they just put it on Penn State and say, all right, we'll see you in a couple years when you guys figure it all out.
And you got to think, you beat them by 40. Does that sway recruits? You know, like
this is they're
already swaying recruits. The number one team in the nation. They're just coming off a national championship. They're fine.
It does matter when you got the recruits at this game because I'm sure there will be guys going.
They'll be there
for sure.
Yeah. So
all right, like it. What you got next?
Like that one. The next one we're going with number 8 Georgia Tech at NC State, and Georgia Tech is favored 5.5 points at NC State, and I'm taking them to cover. I just think Georgia Tech has been so solid this year, and they're kind of going under the radar. They actually have a chance at making the playoff, and this is kind of like NC State isn't a great team, but they're a mediocre, well-known team that still looks good on the resume if you're able to beat up on them during the regular season. And NC State has already gotten beaten pretty good by Duke, Virginia Tech, Pitt, and then Notre Dame, obviously, is a better team as well. But those 4 teams covered and put it on NC State. Georgia Tech is going to see that, know that they also have to take care of business at NC State. And something that does travel really well is a run game. And Georgia Tech is 3rd in all of college football in their rushing. They're top 3 in third down conversions as well. So they run the ball, they run clock, and they convert on third down. So it's just a terrible setup for NC State to get the ball and to also cover. And they also have Haynes King, who is in his 6th year of college football and 3rd at Georgia Tech. So I just trust him to just continue steadying the ship and keeping them rolling. They're a juggernaut right now in the ACC to just keep rolling and get into the playoffs. So I really like them on the road this week.
I like that. I didn't know they were 8-0. That's kind of
and they
definitely flying under the radar.
They are really putting it on teams.
Yeah, they're probably the number one in
best
ACC right now, right?
Yeah, I believe they're the top.
They're the highest.
Miami's
highest ranked.
Yeah, Miami's falling back a little bit.
It'll probably be them in the. I don't know if they play each other, but yeah, so it's likely going to be either Louisville, Miami, or Georgia Tech coming out of that.
I like that. I mean,
I'm leaning towards Ohio State. They're going to fucking win by 40.
That's what I'm thinking. I just don't see that Penn State's got it. I think that they're just rolling over, and these kids all are just like demoralized with what happened.
They're already trying to get out.
Well, you just don't get hurt. Like some of
I think that's what they're trying to do. Some of these guys are like, I hope I don't play. Yeah.
You know how many calls all those kids are getting right now?
Oh yeah,
from all these other teams. They're not watching film to beat Ohio State at night. Like, they're not motivated. I know all they want to do is beat Ohio State, but no.
They don't really want to beat them because it takes too much. They don't have enough.
Done. Exactly. They're done. I mean,
No,
so we'll go with
I
that one.
agree.
let's go.
That's
Let's go.
that's
Ohio
why I
State
put it
minus
there.
20.
All right, so that's my pick, and then we got Nick's pick. So Jake, what are your two for this week?
So this week we're gonna go with Florida, Georgia. I'm up here in Jax. It's a massive game every year. I think it's the last year that's under contract to be in Jacksonville currently. They've been looking at a different location. Weather looks great. Looks like it's going to be actually in like the mid 40s, 50s for the game time on Saturday. So it's going to be
Oh yeah, no, this weekend's
perfect
going to be
football
beautiful.
weather. Georgia being ranked number 5 and Florida having such a bad season and such a hard season without their head coach now. It's just set up for Georgia just to absolutely stomp on Florida and let them know, like, okay, there's levels to this. It's been good games the last couple years. I just don't think it's there anymore. Georgia's a wagon right now. They've handled their business perfectly fine all year long. And Florida's losing teams that they have no business losing to. I think it'll be a nice, easy win. I mean, only being a 7.5 point favorite, it's kind of weak. It's like they're trying to give it more of like the rivalry game. It's like it's not.
That's why it's low.
It's like
Because
Florida is not good
Florida
enough
played
to
them very
actually
well last
hang.
year. But they did
Yeah.
play them very well
And
last year.
obviously, like, Lagway does have it on any given weekend. Like he can.
Yeah, but does he have it
put
without his
together.
head coach anymore? It's like I just don't think Florida has anything going for him
No,
in this
and I
game.
mean, and Georgia does need to also win convincingly too. Like
Yeah,
everyone, it
they need to make
seems
sure
like
they can't screw up here. They have their one loss. You can't afford it
they need
because
to
they're not going to be
stack
in the
good
SEC
wins.
championship game if they don't win this game.
I lost a lot of money last year on Georgia, so
Yeah.
That was a lot of Beck.
that was an ugly game. That was an ugly game from Beck. The only reason Georgia won was because Lagway got hurt.
Next one, I've been gone for a couple weeks, so we're obviously right back on the train with Indiana. But we're not gonna go points this time. We're just gonna go spread. They're 22.5 point favorite. They're still scoring high 30s, low 40s is their average still. They're going to dominate again. Maryland is the same category as UCLA. They're not really a good team, and SIG destroys not good teams. If you're an average or below average team, he's just going to put up his 50 points and just call it a day. And their defense, honestly, has been a lot better than people would give a Big Ten team, especially
It's
an
a
Indiana
legit
team,
defense.
credit for. Now, they're not Ohio State, obviously, but they're still holding all these teams to under 20 pretty much across the board everywhere you look. So I just love them scoring 50 and just covering just casually, even if he does have a bad week. And it's another Big Ten matchup for SIG, right? You need these wins. You need them no matter what in the Big Ten. You can't take any of these lightly, and he puts it on teams.
Yeah, so I'm with them too. I'm totally
I'm
cool
riding with
taking
that.
Indiana. So we're taking Indiana at Maryland minus 22.5. Then Penn State, Ohio State 20.5. And then Texas Tech at Kansas State over 52.5.
Book it.
Book it.
Back to 3 picks this week. See how that goes.
There we go.